Valeri, come take a look at this. You too, Traveler.
Some sort of notebook. What is it for?
It's the on-duty logbook for the theater. Kulish was the main person to use it. He mostly used it to record any unusual incidents during a show, audience numbers, exit times, and so on. Yes, he'd always have this logbook with him when he checked tickets at the entrance.
This should confirm a lot of key details about the recent show. So, you find anything unusual?
Yes. The number of people. I've checked and double-checked, but the numbers just don't match what's recorded in the logbook. Apparently, we have an extra person among us.
Are we certain that logbook is accurate? Could someone have sneaked in without buying a ticket or something?
Unlikely. Kulish took his duties very seriously. I've rarely seen any errors in his work. Not to mention that this was a dress rehearsal, meaning smaller audience numbers and tighter ticket restrictions than usual. Everything would have been well within his control.
We no longer have our tickets with us, do we? They got collected on entry. I assume there's no way we can check them again.
Unfortunately not. The theater recycles tickets. Once people are in the door, they don't tend to leave until the show ends, so we collect the tickets at the point of entry. Still, I'm inclined to believe that this discrepancy in the head count is significant somehow.
Did an extra person just materialize out of thin air?
Tonya, did you find anything?
Not yet. Still looking. So... Are we supposed to be looking for something paranormal? I think I'd prefer teaming up with you than looking around on my own.
This looks like somebody's notebook. Shall we read it together?
Well, it doesn't look scary or anything, so I guess it should be fine. Alright, let's read it together.
Huh. This has to be Vodyanitsa's writing, surely.
Maybe it's a little rude for us to peek at this. I feel like I just read someone's secret diary by accident. It sounds like she's writing this for her parents, right? I don't understand. Why put this stuff in a notebook instead of mailing it in a letter?
Because her water imp parents belonged to the aristocracy, who were driven out of Snezhnaya by the Tsaritsa long ago. And now they live somewhere new, where the postman can't get to.
We're sorry.
It's fine. My fault for not storing it properly. I can't leave things lying around and expect them to get ignored when everyone's scouring the place for clues. Alright, give me my notebook back. I'll take over the investigation in this room.
Traveler, since you're here, come take a look at this.
Alosha found it. We're both curious to hear your perspective. It appears to be an investigation report. And the focus of the investigation was the rumors of haunting we heard about earlier. An investigation report, huh? Looks quite old. This person's name looks to be of Sumeru origin to me. Was the investigator from Sumeru?
The theater manager must have hired an investigator once specifically to look into this issue. But it doesn't look like anyone ever looked at the report.
Presumably, the manager wanted to know if the supposed haunting was dangerous, while also being fearful of word getting out in case it affected the theater's business. Anyway, the bottom line is, the haunting is actually real after all. It's caused by an obstruction in the ley lines. Is there any chance this is the key to finally making some progress with the murder cases? Ley line problems are pretty unexceptional to me by this point. And while it certainly offers an explanation for the ghosts, it's hard to imagine what connection it could have to these two murder cases. Some of the language that appears at the very end of the report caught my eye. Angel civilization, ley line renovation? My area of research doesn't touch on any of that, so it's completely outside of my wheelhouse. Huh? A piece of paper just fell out from the report. It landed right by your feet. How unnerving. It was tucked inside the report, so it must be a note left by the author. Death is near. Is that supposed to be what's going on here? With us, in the theater? But if so, how did the author foresee it? Could he predict the future somehow?
Maybe things are more complicated than we thought.
No, wait a second. If we take the report and the note at face value, they completely contradict one another. The report definitively concludes that the hauntings in the theater are harmless and cannot affect the real world. But the note seems to be warning of potential danger. The question is, what exactly does the note mean by death? The various ways we could interpret this keyword lead in completely different directions. Let's pause our analysis here for now. I think we need more information. If we take all this together, it's not impossible, is it? If anything, it's the natural conclusion.
Oh, I beg to differ. This sounds to me like a product of a researcher's vivid imagination. And perhaps it's because I'm still viewing this through the lens of a typical murder investigation. But still, I'm struggling to be persuaded by your theory.
Does it really sound that far-fetched? Alright, well, let's treat that as speculation for now. I do agree with what you've said, so let's go with your idea for now.
Good. Okay, now that we finally have some meaningful leads, I think it's time to reconvene. Let's get the others. So, that's about everything we've discovered so far. I'll share my theory first. Based on what we've learned from the logbook, I believe the extra person among us is most likely the killer. If the killer had simply bought a ticket, it would have greatly increased the risk of their identity being exposed. I expect he or she either hid in the theater ahead of time, or found a way to slip past the ticket inspection. They then blended in with the group and waited for an opportunity to strike.
What about the note found in the investigation report? Any thoughts on how that fits in?
The killer may have simply planted it there as some sort of sick joke. I've seen my fair share of psychopathic killers. They love playing cryptic mind games.
So, it has nothing to do with the haunting of the theater after all.
This theory makes sense to me. If we have an audience member unaccounted for, chances are they didn't come here to watch the show.
Could it really be that simple?
So, in other words, all we have to do is find out who got in here without a ticket, and all our problems will be solved? Then let me make one thing clear. All the theater staff should be well aware that I came here for the rehearsal legitimately, yes? There's no way I'm the one who didn't have a ticket.
It's true. I hear you used every trick in the book to get a hold of that ticket, too. Everything short of throwing a temper tantrum and rolling around on the floor at the entrance.
I most certainly did not degrade myself in such a way.
Probably a stupid question, but I might as well ask. Did anyone here get in without having their ticket checked?
Hmm?
Guess it was naive of me to expect them to just admit to it.
Especially after the unprompted Lelik reveal. Once was already a miracle. Twice would be unfathomable.
Sounds like Chuganov went to a lot of trouble to get his ticket, because everyone at the theater knows about it. As things stand, the audience head count doesn't add up. I guess we can rule out the theater staff members. Valeri came to the theater to catch Mitya. Those two should be able to vouch for one another, and their motives are clear. As things stand, the audience head count doesn't add up. I guess we can rule out the theater staff members. I got my ticket from Child. It was all above board and my ticket was checked at the entrance, so there's no way it's me. Tonya received her ticket the same way I did. I assume Child got both of them together. In any case, I knew in advance that Tonya was coming. As things stand, the audience head count doesn't add up. I guess we can rule out the theater staff members. I don't believe any of us here knew Shram before all this. If no one can verify Shram's identity... Mr. Shram, did you really go through the ticket inspection to get in here?
Huh? Me? Why am I being singled out, my friend? Do I seem that suspicious?
It's not that you stand out as suspicious, more that everyone else has been ruled out as trustworthy.
Okay. Well, we spent the best part of 2 days together now, so I'm sure you can all tell what kind of person I am. I'm a true gentleman. I never dream of doing something like sneaking to the theater without a ticket.
Yeah, I have no doubt that you're a good person. But the problem is, none of us here actually know you, so no one can say for sure that you are who you claim to be. Although, actually, what was it you said last night? Yeah, you're friends with that water imp, which is why you understand our primary mode of expression. Last time I checked, there were barely any of us remaining in Snezhnaya, since most of the water imps left. Could you tell me a little bit more about your friend? There's a good chance I actually know her. And I suppose it's also kind of a way for everyone else to get to know you a little better.
Good grief. Are you blushing? Pull yourself together, man. Stop giggling like a teenage boy. It's revolting.
Hey, revolting is a little strong. All right, fine. I'll admit it. That water imp friend of mine, the truth is, we're dating. I was just a bodyguard hired by our family. But the stars must have aligned, because sparks began to fly between me and their daughter. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I'd get so lucky.
We don't need details. Just get to the point.
Okay. I'm just a little hesitant to reveal her name, that's all. You know how it is. These are delicate times. even with me to protect her. If word gets out that she's dating a human, both the Fae and human factions will give her a hard time.
Really? Wait, no. That can't be.
Huh? Shram, what the devil are you talking about?
Why is everyone looking at me like that? Surely you can understand where I'm coming from.
Delicate times. Factions?
Yes? You know, the Civil War? Last time I checked, the Fae and the humans were still at each other's throats.
If I'm not mistaken, the last significant civil war in Snezhnaya history was over 400 years ago, when Her Majesty the Tsaritsa had just taken the throne and was consolidating her reign.
What do you mean, 400 years ago?
What's going on here? Is Shram from the past?
All right, Mr. Mitya, you win this round. As far-fetched as it is, it appears that your theory may be correct.
I'm just as amazed as you are. I didn't even believe it myself, to be honest.
Is someone going to explain what's going on here?
From the look on your face, you figured it out too, haven't you, Traveler?
The theater's ley lines have been modified to block souls within its grounds from returning to them. Some souls can even wander this place forever. Mr. Shram's statement proves he is from hundreds of years ago. And according to the investigation report on the theater hauntings, Mr. Shram is very likely a lost soul wandering the theater. For some unknown reason, the soul that has been wandering the theater due to the ley line issues has joined our group and blended in. Yeah, that must be the immediate reason why the ticket count doesn't match the number of people present. Since we discovered that Mr. Shram is from the past, it seems we need to broaden our assessment of this incident beyond the bounds of common sense. The contents of the investigation report have been verified. There are indeed ley line issues and wandering souls in the theater. Death likely symbolizes the deceased. Mr. Shram, for instance. Death is near. That must mean that there's a dead person in our midst. That's the truth, isn't it?
Yeah, the logic is clear now. The investigation report said that there would be souls stuck wandering around the theater because the ley lines were cut off. Mr. Shram must be one such soul who died in the theater a long time ago. In which case, that also makes him our extra person. So when the note said death is near, it must have been referring to death as in the deceased. People who died a long time ago.
Someone who died a long time ago.
In short, there's a dead person among us. The extra person we've been searching for is a ghost from the past.
You mean I'm a ghost? No. Don't make jokes like that, my man. There must be some mistake. But even if I was dead, I know for a fact I didn't kill anyone these past 2 nights.
Yeah, even if all that's true, the report also said the souls inside the theater can't affect reality, right? They're harmless.
Then what if the problem isn't the souls at all, but the ley lines themselves? The ley lines have a powerful ability to attract and devour souls. Let's say that the ley lines are like a black hole, constantly seeking to engulf souls. But the souls that don't want to return are trying to avoid being sucked in.
Why does this analogy sound so familiar?
What happens when the black hole can't achieve its goal? I'm only speculating here, but What if it ended up swallowing innocent souls by mistake? Or intentionally taking other souls to compensate?
That could explain why we weren't able to determine a cause of death. If you're right, and their souls were devoured by the ley lines, it does make some sense.
It does seem to explain a lot of the things we couldn't make sense of. Does that mean it's true?
Except there's no concrete evidence. Mitya's relying on a lot of logical leaps. Still, it seems like the best explanation we have under the circumstances.
Alright, so how could Shram not know that he's dead? Seems a little unlikely that he hasn't noticed anything unusual even after several days interacting with us.
On the contrary, it's perfectly normal for a soul to wander the theater for centuries without questioning their existence or reason for being there. It's simply what's natural for them.
You know what, Mr. Brainiac? I think you might actually be right after all. I'm trying to remember and... even though my head feels like it's going to explode, I think... it's all coming back to me. I was the one who didn't want to remember my own death, so I forced myself to forget.
Well, I'm sure those are painful memories.
My lady and I snuck out to go on a date one day. We bought tickets for the theater. It wasn't really my thing, but I was just happy to be together. All of a sudden, a group of people burst into the theater, shouting for all the water imps to get out, performers and audience members included. It was clear the conflict between humans and Fae had reached a boiling point. This time, the extremists were even coming after the water imps who had nothing to do with the war. I thought I could pull one over on them, so I took off my jacket, draped it over my lady, and tried to sneak out amid the chaos. But I got caught. They started shouting, calling me a traitor to humanity. But I was going to do whatever it took to buy her a chance to escape, no matter how many people stood in my way. I had to, both as her bodyguard and out of love.
It's all right, friend. You can stop there if you want. You don't need to dig all that up again.
It's just... even now, I'm still struggling to accept the truth. How could I be dead? I'm sorry, everyone. If I'd known I was a dead man walking, I wouldn't have dragged you down with me. If I'm the cause of all this death, then punish me however you see fit.
But, Mr. Shroom...
No. I refuse to be a burden. I know what I have to do. You said I've been wandering the theater for centuries, right? I guess it's high time I got a breath of fresh air. Out there, I mean. I'll leave this place and take all this death with me. Go out on my own terms.
Mr. Shram, I'm sure we can figure out a different course of action.
My good sir, we both know I'm not supposed to be here. I should have accepted my death long ago. One way or another, this has to end. Unless you're saying this goes against another one of your military principles somehow.
No, I'm speaking on a personal level this time.
Let it go, man. Oh, wait. One last thing. Miss Waterimp. My lover. Her name was Litia. Litia Ozarova. Do you know what happened to her?
Ozarova. Oh, Auntie Ozarova. That's what we all called her. I remember her as a very kind elder. She had a bunch of kids, too.
I'm so glad she survived. And she had lots of kids? Good. That's... good. I could hardly expect her to stay single just because of what happened to me, right? As long as she went on to be happy, That's all that matters. Besides, I'm dead. My soul has been wandering around here for so long because I was worried about her. But now, I can go without regret. There's no need to see me off, my friends. I've enjoyed our time together over these past few days. Perhaps we'll meet again in the next life.
Take care, my man.
I knew Mr. Shram was already dead, but I still feel so sad.
Death is cruel, no matter how we might try to make sense of it.
So, was the conflict between Fae and humans really that bad back then? I was only little, so I don't remember much. It's terrible to think that so many innocent people had their lives turned upside down. Even the historical records about that time period don't say much about it. All people know is that the Tsaritsa founded the Fatui, drove out most of the Fae aristocracy without explanation, then used her terrifying power to suppress the humans.
It seems to me like the Tsaritsa chose to make herself the enemy. She downplayed the conflict, directing whatever animosity both sides had for each other at herself instead. That's also why, despite how brutal the conflict was at the time, there hasn't been much lingering tension between humans and Fae since. Things have been fairly harmonious for the past few centuries.
So, the Tsaritsa banished the Fae to protect the Fae living in the city? She offered herself up to be hated in exchange for peace.
Maybe it's not quite as bad as it sounds. I don't think Her Majesty is too concerned if mortals hate her or not. And besides, there are very few who truly do.
All this time, I had no idea.
All right. If Mitia's theory is correct, then I think we can consider this matter settled. Let's all take a break.
Ugh, if only this blasted storm wasn't still raging on.
Looks like now we can just rest until the snowstorm stops. I still can't believe Shram turned out to be a ghost who'd been in the theater for hundreds of years. To think he was dead this whole time. What a strange turn of events.
Knock knock.
Huh?
Knock knock.
You know the door isn't closed, right? You don't have to knock.
Think of it as a signal then. When I'm entering someone else's room and I knock, I'm here as Odette. If I don't knock, it's Lelik. Thanks.
So, why did you come to find me? Is there something I can help with?
Vodyanitsa said you knew about my secret identity from the start. But when everyone was discussing who Lelik could be, you were worried that revealing what you knew would be unfair to me, so you kept it to yourself, right? Yes, I'm extremely grateful for that.
It's nothing. I mean, you didn't hold what happened with Signora against me, so I should thank you for that as well.
Actually, there's something else as well. I found myself in a situation similar to the one you were in when you helped conceal my identity. So I thought I'd come and ask you for advice. It's about Mitia. Before all of this, the last time I saw him, he was dead. As I'm sure you know, my goal as Lelik was to stop Project Stuja. Well, when I found out the tech lead for the experiment behind Project Stuja was Mitia, I immediately started planning to track him down and threaten him to back out. I often saw him around the theater, but I soon concluded that making my move there would risk exposing my identity. So I decided to infiltrate the Armory Palace and go directly to his lab. That way, the threat would be much more effective. Well, I suppose there was a bit of luck involved, but I am a Fatus, so I already had some familiarity with the building's layout. But when I finally made it to his lab, Mitya seemed to be dead. I checked his breathing and his pulse. He had no vital signs whatsoever. I'm certain of that. I thought maybe another anti-Project Stuja activist had beaten me to it, and chosen a much more brutal method, so I made myself scarce.
That's why you were so on guard around Mitya that first night here.
Yes. When I saw him sitting in the audience during the performance, I could barely contain the shock. To me, it was a miracle. Somehow, he'd come back from the dead. But then, the murders started happening and things got so complicated that it wasn't really at the front of my mind. That is, until Mitya himself said there must be a dead person among us. Then I couldn't ignore it any longer.
And yet, you thought that bringing it up right away would single Mitya out. Just like when everyone was suspecting Lelik.
Exactly. I thought there could be something I was missing. Besides, we soon figured out that Mr. Schramm was a ghost, and we knew there was only one extra person, so we thought he had to be the one.
But now, it seems like there's another candidate. I understand why you kept it to yourself. There was so much information being thrown around during that discussion. Bringing up Mitya would have just introduced more confusion.
So, what do you think we should do?
Let me confirm one thing first. When was it that you found Mitya dead?
Around a week ago, sometime in the afternoon.
A week ago? That's earlier than I thought. I saw him just a few days ago at a restaurant. That definitely would have been after you found him dead. He seemed completely normal to me, chatting with Vodyanitsa, trying to avoid Valeri.
So he was definitely alive on that day. Huh. Well, all I can say is I know what I saw.
Here's a thought. The reason we even suspected a dead person could be among us was because of the problem with the theater's ley lines. But Mitya's death happened inside the Armory Palace. The ley lines affecting the theater shouldn't reach that far.
You're right. I guess he doesn't fit the profile of the person we were searching for.
I think the chances of it being him are very low. Surely he can't have died for real in the Armory Palace. Unless
what?
Unless he really did come back from the dead.
You're right. Do you think we need to disclose this to the others?
Huh, what's this? A private meet and greet? Where do I line up?
That's not what's going on here.
Well, I was just making the rounds. Thought I'd try to lighten the mood a bit. Vodyanitsa's handing out food if you're hungry.
What is going on with this storm? Could it be connected to that monster that just arrived in Snezhnaya?
I almost hope it is. Her Majesty the Tsaritsa left to vanquish that beast herself. We just need to wait for her triumphant return.
Do you think people still feel the cold after they die? I'm wondering about Schramm. Oh, maybe we should have given him a coat before he went out there.
Death itself is cold, isn't it? I'm sure the storm will embrace him.
Well, I hope he has a safe journey. I'm going to miss him, I think. It's not like we can blame him for Rampana and Kulish's deaths. Thinking back on it, we barely made it out alive ourselves. Once we get out of here, how are we going to explain what happened to their families?
Are you okay? Here, take this. I've never used it.
Thanks. Look who's Mr. Nice Guy all of a sudden. Is it because Tonya stood up for you this morning? At least you know how to return a favor.
Yeah, without Tonya, who knows how badly he would have been hurt.
I told you already, I never intended to resort to violence.
Duh, bunch of rascals. Little girl? I was rather surprised when you spoke up for me this morning. I didn't think I had many admirers here, so, thank you.
Oh, no need to thank me. I said some bad stuff about you too.
I've been, too embarrassed to admit it, but, you remind me a lot of my daughter. So kind to everyone, but never lets her old man off the hook. Unless my wife and I are having a fight, then she's always on my side. Especially when she was little. Every time I took her out... All right, easy now. How long have you had that cough, Tonya?
I don't know. It's probably been a while. I'm fine.
Are you taking anything for it?
Yeah. I'll be fine once I see my brother. He's gonna pick some frost fairy flower leaves and brew a tonic for me. I'll feel much better once I drink that.
I see. That's good to hear, then.
We should probably discuss arrangements for tonight. Now that the deceased has left our midst, there shouldn't be any more incidents. However, out of an abundance of caution, I'll keep watch.
Shouldn't we take shifts? I can take one if needed.
No need. I managed to get a nap in earlier, so I have plenty of energy right now. After all the tension of the past few days, everyone else should just focus on getting a good night's sleep.
What a long day. This whole situation turned out to be way more complicated than I expected. But Valeri's right. I should just try to calm down and get some rest. The last thing I want is to give myself nightmares.
He's awake! He's awake! Get over here, you big lug, and take a look!
If you must call me something, call me Mr. Door. The Black Mist is coming. You need to go.
Are you all right? Can you walk? We just got attacked by monsters on our way up. That Mr. Door fellow protected us. He just seemed to come out of nowhere. Not much of a talker, but when it comes to taking down monsters, that man doesn't hold back. Curses! The Black Mist is catching up to us. We need to keep going. Mr. Door, I don't believe I've ever seen you around here before. Why is that?
There's no need to try to get to know me. I'm just Mr. Door. I have to find the door that belongs to me.
Looking for trouble! Mr. Door! Monsters! Quick, get rid of them!
I can just push these ones off.
Oh, well, anyway, we're lucky to have you here. Thanks for saving us earlier.
No need to thank me. This is where my duty lies.
So we're doing this the hard way.
Fighting frog!
You win!
Remarkable work, Mr. Door. If I had your muscles, I'd do the same. Are none of these doors the one you're looking for?
No.
Listen.
Condense and crystallize.
Goodness!
By my command.
Impossible.
Cryostorm!
Impossible.
I'm so exhausted. And the black mist is still rising. Oh. Wait, look! There's more monsters down there. Are they coming from within the black mist? No, no! They're gaining on us! Quick, keep going, or they'll be at our heels any second! Mr. Door, what are you doing? We need to get out of here. They're coming!
Found it. This is my door.
What? You mean you're going to stay here?
I am a door. This is where my duty lies.
No! You saved us. We can't leave you behind.
You must keep going. A door can only keep things out for so long. You must make haste.
But... Oh, you're right. Let's go. We can't let Mr. Door's sacrifice be in vain. The black mist isn't moving anymore. Looks like both the monsters and Mr. Door are gone. I didn't just imagine all that, did I? Surely I wasn't so scared out of my mind that I hallucinated a door as a human being. Oh, okay, good. There's no way we both hallucinated the same thing. Getting sleepy? Well, looks like we're safe for now. Go ahead. Let's get some rest.
What time is it? Is it morning? I think I had a nightmare. I guess everyone's still asleep? These past 2 days have been exhausting. Valeri's keeping watch though, so he's probably the only one awake. Valeri?
Wake up! Everyone needs to wake up!
Just like the last 2 nights. No clear cause of death. I've been a real thorn in your side, haven't I, Mr. Valeri? Now you can rest in peace. But for me, life will be all the duller for not having to run away from you, my friend.
How's Tonya? Is she okay?
I just checked on her, and it doesn't seem like anything serious. She's just exhausted from the past couple of days, and she's still recovering from her illness. We should let her sleep a bit longer.
That means Valeri was the only one who died last night.
If Valeri was awake and keeping watch, it would have been impossible to kill him without waking everyone else up. That much is certain.
This is so frustrating. Why has nothing changed since yesterday? I thought we already dealt with the dead person causing all this.
Actually, one thing has changed. There's only one victim this time, not two. Does that mean...
After the deceased Shram left, there was one less victim last night. That more or less tracks. It's a reasonable conclusion, considering the only variable that changed. The number of people who die each night is equivalent to the number of dead among us. That's your theory, right?
Exactly. We identified Mr. Shram, and the night after he left, the death toll dropped from 2 to 1. By that logic, there must be one more dead person left among us.
Another one? But there was only one person unaccounted for in the ticket checks, right? The head count should match up now.
Having an extra person was definitely a cause for alarm, but being one person short isn't nearly as unusual. Someone could have left in the middle of the show, or made it out before the storm hit.
One more dead person among us. If Mitya's theory is right, then what Odette told me seems a lot more relevant. It's just, at the time, we had no reason to think there was more than one dead person. If only we'd taken it more seriously as a possibility. Maybe this could have been avoided.
I'm sorry. This is my fault. I had information that could have been helpful, but I held back. I should have brought it up right away.
I'm partly to blame as well. I was too quick to dismiss Odette's concerns.
What is this about? What have you two been getting up to behind my back?
Sounds like there's some big news you've been keeping from the rest of us. Well, we're all ears. I'm the dead person? Wow, that's certainly news to me.
Odette and I talked about it yesterday, but we thought it just wasn't possible, so we left it at that.
Yeah, I don't blame you. If I'd been there, I probably would have reached the same conclusion. It just sounds too unbelievable. Let me just try and verify this. I just scoured my memories trying to think back to the afternoon Miss Odette mentioned. But I honestly have no recollection of dying. That's where I'm different than Mr. Shram.
Having seen Mr. Mitya a few days ago myself, I also find it hard to believe he could be the other dead person among us.
Well, if it isn't Mitya, then who? Do we vote on it?
If you don't mind me asking, Traveler, I believe you mentioned that you know Tonya's brother. Had you ever met her before all this?
No, never. Wait, are you saying...
Now just 1 minute. I know where this is going. You can't just randomly point a finger at anyone you want. You're in the hot seat, and all of a sudden you want to divert our suspicions onto somebody else?
Trying to pick a fight, Mr. Chuganov? Whenever you open your mouth, all you do is attack people, and I've had enough of it. If you don't want to engage in a civil discussion, you can shut up.
You little brat!
Did Mitya ask about Tonya because he suspects her? I suppose I only identified her by age, and nothing else. Could that mean...
I'm just saying, you're going around casting suspicion on people for no reason. How could Tonya be dead? I can vouch for her, if nothing else. I've seen her before. She's the sister of that Harbinger, isn't she? The one called Child.
Oh, really? You're telling the truth?
Since being here, I don't think I ever mentioned she was Child's sister specifically. Does Chuganov actually know her?
If Chuganov can vouch for her, then it can't be Tonya either. In which case, it seems unlikely that there's another dead person among us at all. Miss Odette, Could you go over that afternoon with me one more time, when you found me dead?
No problem.
Huh. No matter how hard I try, I just can't remember anything about dying. But I do remember something else. Miss Vojanitsa, during our last meal together, I told you how some of the researchers were suffering from temporary memory loss. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. You said it was hindering the progress of your experiments. You thought they were just under too much stress or something.
Right. And even though I don't remember dying that day, I'm pretty sure I experienced something like amnesia. Some of my memories from that afternoon are missing.
Are you suggesting you're missing the memory of your...
Of course, how am I only just realizing this? Humans aren't necessarily aware of their own death.
You mean being silently assassinated, or dying in your sleep? Situations like that?
The researcher's amnesia. Suddenly it all makes sense. I must thank you, Odette. I think your perspective just helped me reach a breakthrough on a series of issues that have been troubling me for quite some time. All right. It's decided then. I'll be the one to leave today.
Oh, leave? Hey, wait a minute. Aren't you rushing into this? What if you're wrong? You'll pay with your life.
Come on, kid. Aren't you gonna fight for your life? This seems like a rash decision.
I have other reasons beyond what's been discussed. In fact, thinking back, I remember during Miss Odette's performance, while I was sitting in the audience stalls, a brilliant new idea for my research popped into my mind. But then, my train of thought suddenly cut off. I can't remember it now at all, and I didn't take any notes. I guess that must be another instance of temporary amnesia.
No. Hold on. I see where you're going with this. You're suggesting that each instance of temporary amnesia is a death, right? There's a glaringly obvious flaw in that idea, no? How can one person die so many times?
I believe Miss Odette's account. During the period where my memory is blank, I must have been either dead or in a similar state. All it would take is for the same thing to happen in the theater, and I would come under the effect of the ley lines in this vicinity. This increases the likelihood of me being the deceased, does it not?
But...
There's no evidence to suggest that anyone other than me is a candidate for the deceased. So allow me, as a scientist, to treat this as an experiment. Please relax, everyone. I don't think things are as bad as they may seem. If I really am the deceased, then to leave the theater will be a relief for me. If, on the other hand, I'm still alive right now, well, apparently you've all witnessed my resurrection recently anyway. Who's to say I won't return from the dead again this time?
Mitya's right. This is the only thing we can try right now. I think he's deliberately downplaying the gravity of the situation, though. He probably doesn't want to burden everyone.
What is a scientist if not someone who gambles on experiment after experiment in an attempt to obtain the truth? With this snowstorm, the ley line phenomenon, ghosts of the dead, and my amnesia, we've been paralyzed by not knowing and powerless to do anything about it. It's a terrible feeling. But if I do get resurrected, you can be sure that I'll come back with the truth of all this. Just you wait.
Poor Mr. Mitya. I didn't even get to see him one last time.
Maybe it's a good thing that you weren't there to see it. It was a hard thing to watch.
I hate goodbyes. Why does it feel like everyone around me is slowly disappearing? Not just in here, I mean. In the outside world, too.
Maybe it's the realization that, at the end of life, everyone has to face it alone. Come to think of it, the main reason we're still alive right now is pure luck. Each morning here, for every one of us, there's the chance that we might not wake up. You could take it a step further and say that the same is true outside, too. Who can never be 100% sure when they drift off to sleep that they'll open their eyes again in the morning? If I make it out of here, I'm going to cherish every moment that I'm awake and live without any regrets.
Without regrets. I feel like a strange sense of anxiety has been quietly growing inside me over the last 2 days.
Are you okay? You look really glum.
If something's bugging you, let's talk about it. There's only a few of us left here now. After everything we've been through, what's the point in keeping things bottled up?
I have a travel companion named Paimon. Alosha and Odette have met her before. She's been feeling unwell recently.
You're worried about her, aren't you? That makes sense. We've been trapped in here for days.
To be honest, I used to feel like I was just a spectator in this world, watching everything that happens from the sidelines. Maybe it's because I'm a descender.
A descender?
But with Paimon by my side, over time, I slowly felt my connection to this world growing stronger. She loves eating, sleeping, and having fun, but she's also a great guide. It's her authenticity that makes this whole world feel more real for me. Over the last few days that we've been apart, I've often caught myself wondering, what would Paimon say if she were here right now? But by the time I snap out of it, the conversation has already moved on, and I'm still in my own little world. I'm trying to overcome this sense of detachment, but I really miss Paimon. I guess, in a way, she means the whole world to me.
I bet she misses you when you're not there as well. Maybe you're her entire world too.
I don't know if this will make you feel any better, but back when the water imps left Snezhnaya in droves, I also felt like the whole world was suddenly empty. I could be surrounded by people all smiling and having fun, and still feel completely separate from it. So, I totally understand how you feel. Later on, I started to think, maybe accepting the fact that our loved ones won't always be with us is something that takes a lifetime. All we can do is cherish their companionship from moment to moment. So, once we get out of here, you better hurry back to our side as fast as you can. You can't let your story end in regret. That's the trope I hate the most.
Thank you. That's exactly what I needed to hear.
But Vodianitsa, if you hate goodbyes too, why didn't you leave with your people?
That's just the choice I made. I used to regret it, but I don't anymore. Like I said before, singing is a water imp's primary mode of expression. It's how we convey our emotions. Our songs have echoed through this theater for hundreds of years, each one a story pieced together through moments of joy and sorrow. But does a story exist without someone to read it? To me, the answer is no, so I made the choice to stay. That way, there would still be someone left to sing these songs and listen to their stories. Otherwise, they could have been lost forever.
Could you teach me how to understand your people's songs sometime? I want to be able to truly hear them, like Mr. Shram.
A fan after my own heart. Thank you, Tonya. How about I sing something for you, and you tell me what you hear?
Okay, I'll do my best. I've never heard that one before. I feel like I can hear a sense of longing somehow. I wonder why that is.
Color me impressed, Tonya. You're a keen listener. Most people can only tell if a song is happy or sad. I didn't think you'd be able to pick up on such specific details.
So, what's the song about then? Come on, tell me!
I've actually never performed this song in the theater before, because it has more of a ceremonial purpose for our people. It's not meant for the stage. It means something like, "May those we have lost watch over us, and follow this song back home in the night, so that we might be reunited once more."
No wonder I could hear that sense of longing. You sing it for loved ones who have passed away. I hope it reaches them.
It's getting late, Tonya, and you're not well. We should all turn in early. I suppose there's no reason to keep watch tonight.
Okay. But, before I go to bed, could you sing that song a couple more times for me, Vodyanitsa?
Of course. Anything for my #1 fan.
Once I get out of here, I definitely don't plan on ever coming back. But I guess that means I'll never get to hear Vodyanitsa sing again. That's a sad thought. Before I fall asleep, I should cherish this moment of companionship while it lasts. Where am I? It's so dark in here, and I feel kind of dizzy. Am I alone? Huh? What was that noise?
Return, O spirits. Fulfill your oath of protection.
I'm alive? What just happened?
No time for questions. Quick, over here. Turn on the switch. We need to bring back the light. All right, we're safe. The spirit just now is called Night Prayer. The light subdues her, but she'll attack without a second thought in the dark. Sort of. I know it's hard, but you can't let this place go dark, or she'll kill you again. Yep. Luckily, I was here to resurrect you. Otherwise, that'd have been a real bummer.
A bit more than a bummer, I'd say. Wait, so you have the ability to resurrect people?
Sure I do. I'm your guardian spirit after all. I specialize in soul recall. Oh, it's nice to meet you, by the way.
Thanks. It's nice to meet you too.
All right, there's no time to waste. The black mist is already catching up. We need to avoid it at night prayer at all costs. Come on, let's go. We need to reach the next switch before the place gets too dark. If we bring the light back, Night Prayer won't be able to get to us. Sweet, sweet light! It's back! Now that's a sight for... Shh! It's Night Prayer. We need to move quick, but don't let her notice you. Look out! The next switch is... over there! No! Night Prayer is here too! This can't be the only path. Let's head up there and take a look. The switch is just up ahead! Hurry! It's too dark! We're not gonna make it! Come on, faster! Traveler! I won't let you die like this! Not on my watch!
Even though it's not permanent, dying is definitely not a pleasant experience.
Great. You're back.
Yeah, thanks to you.
Time for you to get out of here. Quick, before the light runs out.
What about you? You're not coming with me?
I can't. I've already been used up. A guardian spirit's skills are finite. I can only resurrect someone so many times. I might not look any different, but my essence has been exhausted. Now, I will slowly start to fade away. I can go no further. The black mist is where I belong. It's okay.
Why didn't you tell me sooner?
Because it wouldn't have changed anything. That knowledge would have just burdened you. And a guardian spirit's role is to protect.
But...
Go. Now, before it's too late. I already hear Night Prayer approaching.
Well, I guess there's no need to inspect the body.
This wasn't supposed to happen. You lied to us, didn't you, Chuganov? You've been lying from the start.
Take a long, hard look at yourself before you go around accusing other people. I suspected you on day one, Lilac, and now look where we are. by some strange coincidence, you've never been targeted. You just happen to have survived this long? No, you should be the prime suspect. And you, little hunter, ever so content with staying on the sidelines. Yet you were the one who stopped us from leaving from the start! Why are you trying to keep us here?
Now you're just lashing out indiscriminately. That's either a sign of anxiety or a guilty conscience. Where was all this passion and bravado before? Decided to fight until the bitter end. Is that it?
Is that a threat? Fine, bring it on. You think I'm afraid to die after all this? You want to kill me? Go ahead. I'd like to see you try.
After all the trauma of the past few days, everyone's been pushed to the breaking point. Valeria and Mitya aren't here anymore. Someone else needs to step up and take charge. But first, I need to think this through. Considering everyone left, who's the most likely candidate for the deceased? I clearly remember Mr. Chuganov from the first time I visited the theater. He made quite an impression. That was just a few days ago. So he's unlikely to be the deceased. Of those who remain, the only person we've never met before is Tonya. There is room to doubt her true identity. People are easily misled by first impressions. Now that I think about it, Child's sister was in fact a label I imposed on her due to my own assumptions. But Mr. Chuganov vouched for Tonya's identity yesterday, with basically no other possibilities left. Could it be? Tonya, how's Tusser been lately?
Tusser?
Your brother Ajax must have mentioned me in his letters home, right? Did he say anything about a blonde traveler?
No. And my brother's name is Razik, not Ajax.
Ugh.
Chuganov, looks like it's your turn to do some explaining. Yesterday, you said you could vouch for Tonya. Why did you give us a false testimony?
I knew you were behind this, Chuganov. You've been lying through your teeth from the start. Everything about you is fake, down to the wife and daughter you're always talking about. Your entire family man persona is a charade, isn't it? That night, when I infiltrated your place as Lelik, I noticed you were home alone. Didn't think much of it at the time. Just thought everyone else was out. But thinking back on it now, that doesn't seem very likely. My guess is, you live alone, don't you?
Even that was a lie? But why would he lie about having a family?
Oh! Curses! Oh, why is there no end to this blasted snowstorm? If it would just stop! If it would just stop.
I think I remember now. I know how I ended up here. It feels like a distant memory. But at the same time, it's just like it was yesterday. The reason I'm always coughing is because I got sick with frostbite. The locals usually call it the snow cough. It's not a very common illness. It's partly genetic and partly caused by the cold climate, but it can be fatal. They sent me to the hospital as soon as they found out I had it. And I spent so long lying there in that hospital bed. After a while, I felt myself growing weaker and weaker. Nothing seemed to be working anymore. Neither the treatment that the doctors were giving me, nor the medicine my brother was brewing from frost fairy flower leaves. So one day, I told my brother that I wanted him to take me outside for once, so things could be like they used to, just for one day. I wanted to meet loads of friends, experience new things. He agreed. He snuck me out of the hospital, and we escaped. We got to the theater, bought tickets and went inside. It was all so exciting. I remember the show very clearly. It was amazing. But I found myself getting sleepier and sleepier.
Oh, Tonya.
When I woke up, I couldn't find my brother anywhere, so I guessed he'd already left. But there's no way he'd leave me behind. So I decided to stay here and wait for him. At the time, I figured he'd probably gone to brew some more medicine for me. I was planning to chew him out for abandoning me when he got back. Tonya, it sounds like by then you'd already... Yeah, I know. I understand now. Dead, aren't I? This cough and the feeling weak, it's probably just my body's memory. After all of that, it turns out I can't blame my brother after all. I was the one who abandoned him. I'm sorry, everyone. I realized this much too late. It seems like death skewed my perception. And now I've dragged you all into this mess.
Your name probably isn't even Tonya, is it? Didn't that ever strike you as odd over the last few days?
Well, when I was little, my brother and I read a storybook, and Tonya is the name of one of the characters. When we escaped from the hospital, our family and the hospital security were looking everywhere for us. So when you first approached me and said my brother had sent you, and called me Tonya, I thought he must have chosen a fake name that only the two of us would know. Because he was afraid of getting caught. Now, it seems like that was just wishful thinking. At least your memory of death isn't painful. That is a small comfort. Now it's your turn, Chuganov. Talk to us. I believe no lie is ever told without a reason.
You're right. I was lying. I happen to know that the Harbinger child and his sister Tonya managed to get tickets, so I lied to you and pretended I knew them. And yes, I was lying about my family too. The truth of the matter is, I lost them a long time ago. I just refused to accept reality. And now I've spent the second half of my life living a lie. I'm a joke. My daughter's name was Iskra. And before you ask, yes, Iskra, as in Iskra Manufacturing Plant. She also died from the snow cough. She was just 6 years old. If she were still alive today, she'd be around the same age as little Tonya here. After Iskra passed, my wife couldn't bear to face those memories either. So she chose to start a new life, without me. One day when I came home from work and saw the empty room, I felt like I couldn't breathe. Subconsciously, I started to imagine that they were still there. I soon discovered that this was the only thing that made me feel any better, so I just embraced the delusion.
Nothing more than a pathetic means of escapism, I know. But at least it's not a crime. So explain your false testimony then.
The night before last, when I was chatting with Tonya, she mentioned that her brother would brew medicine for her from frost fairy flower leaves. Combined with her various symptoms, I suddenly understood everything, including the fact that she was deceased. The snow cough used to be an incurable illness. I would pick frost fairy flower leaves to brew medicine for Iskra too. It took hours and hours on the stove. But the year after my daughter passed away, the jester of the Fatui announced that a cure for frost blight, also known as the snow cough, had finally been developed. It turned out that all previous treatments were completely ineffective. No better than random concoctions. That was the final straw for me. I just couldn't take it anymore. Just one more year. One more year, and everything would have been okay. So, more than anyone, I know full well that in this day and age, no one in their right mind would still be using frostflower leaves to brew medicine for the snow cough. Poor Miss Tonya, therefore, had to have been from an era when snow cough was still a terminal illness.
So, you projected your daughter onto her? Even though you knew she was one of the dead?
That doesn't make any sense. You knew she was already dead. What did you hope to achieve by protecting her?
I just don't believe in your crackpot theories. Nor do I approve of your actions. How can you just declare a living person dead and throw them out into that snowstorm? Nitia's gone. My good buddy Shram's gone. And now it's Tonya's turn, isn't it? The others I can make my peace with, but little Miss Tonya, here she is, standing right in front of us, alive and breathing, and fighting her own battles. Yet you're quite happy to say she's dead? I just want her to live. Once this snowstorm is over, the very moment it stops, I'm going to march out that door and find someone who can fetch the very best medicine for her snow cough. I'll be damned if I'm gonna let you cast her out into the snowstorm before I have the chance to cure her. Not again! Not this time! Not when the cure is right within our grasp! I'd never be able to forgive myself.
Mr. Chuganov, stop. I can't let you do this.
Tonya.
By the sounds of it, you've known I was dead since the night before last, right? I really liked Mr. Valeri, Mr. Mitya, and Miss Vodyanitsa. And now they're all dead because of me. I'm not happy about that. The reality is, you've been trying to fight your own demons through me. But all you've really done is trap me inside your delusion along with you.
No! Listen to me. I want to save you. I do!
Well, at this point, I'm quite sure that I'm dead. I don't need to be saved. The time I got to spend with all of you is more than enough for me. Despite all the bad things that kept happening, I got to meet so many interesting people and spend so many days and nights by your side. Since the day I escaped that hospital until now, this has been an adventure I never even dared to dream of. I'm very fond of you all. If it were only possible, I'd trade my soul to bring back the ones who died. If it meant things didn't have to end like this. And that's why I'm not fond of you at all, Mr. Chuganov.
I'm sorry.
It's them that you owe an apology to, sir. Not me. Well then, I suppose this is it. It's time for my adventure to end. I've caused enough trouble.
You're leaving already? It's still early. Don't you want to stay a little longer?
No thank you. Oh, and by the way, my name is Patashka. It was nice meeting you all. Feels strange that we're only being properly introduced now that it's time to say goodbye.
Patashka.
What are you doing, Chuganov? Are you crazy?
Let me leave. I can't keep lying to myself anymore.
In your dreams. Don't think you're getting off that easy when you had a hand in the deaths of so many people. The Fatui have honed quite an array of enhanced interrogation techniques since they were founded. Once we're out of here, Lelik will personally give you a taste of every last one. I think we should leave. I doubt this snowstorm is ever going to stop. For all we know, this storm might have destroyed all of Snezhnaya by now. Maybe even the whole world.
Wait, we finally solved the mystery of the haunted theater today. Maybe let's at least try to enjoy tonight?
Fair enough. I don't particularly feel like dying in Chuganov's company anyway.
And yet you won't let me die first.
Hey, Chuganov, on a serious note, if we do make it out of here, you should close down that factory of yours. A lot of people are freezing thanks to you.
Is this really the time to be discussing my factory? All right, fine. I'll shut it down. Doesn't matter to me anymore.
Am I hearing things? Or was that a knock at the door? There it is again. But I don't understand. The snowstorm hasn't stopped, has it?
Should we open the door?
Is this it? Is this nightmare finally over? If the last few days are anything to go by, I probably shouldn't be getting my hopes up. Whatever lies beyond that door at this moment, it could be something even more terrifying than everything we've been through so far.